Hi, I'm Ruthie. This is like my sixth attempt to make a video for the purpose of welcoming you to the Roman Holiday Forum. So we are just gonna like keep rolling until this sucker is over this time. So welcome to the forum. Welcome to Chained, our pilot episode. You should tell me actually in the comments, or tell Marianne actually, because I think I won't be in these comments, but like you should tell me what your favorite pilot is. My favorite pilot of all pilots is the pilot of Deadwood, and particularly the first scene of that show wherein the sheriff, Seth Bullock, in order to deal with the fact that there's this vigilante justice mob that has just shown up to hang the prisoner in his jail, hangs him himself first in the appropriate way, or like the way that he feels is appropriate, as a sort of act of justice. And that is like everything you need to know about Seth Bullock right there. He is fair and brutal and completely unbending in terms of his sense of what's right and what's wrong. And he's just also like an utter mess, right? Like the utter mess of having to hang a man so that they won't hang the man. Like, anyway, that's my favorite pilot. So you should tell me what yours is, but also I'm supposed to be talking about character. So what do I want to say about building character? We have this wacky situation, right? We've got the hurricane coming and we've got the palm tree, and Ashley's changed the palm tree, and that is actually where this story began. I knew I was going to write a serial. I knew I wanted it to be a road trip story. And then I was sitting with my agent and drinking daiquiris by the pool at RWA, because this is an actual thing that can happen if you're a romance writer and you have the correct agent, who is Emily. She will buy you daiquiris and plot with you. So we knew that this was a story that started there. Florida Keys, girl chained to the palm tree, and the developer arriving. So the first question for me as the writer was like, who would do that? Who on earth would do that? Because it's not smart, right? It's not even a little tiny bit smart. It's just like completely harebrained. And then once I've decided who will do it, which is Ashley, and Ashley is, to me, she's kind of the essence of the Florida Keys in a sense. Like She's the Florida Keys idea of an ideal woman. Not, and I mean that not in the sense of like, if you live in the Keys, this is someone who you would, particularly admire, but more in the sense like, what's the spirit of the Keys? Like, what do people go there for? What do they want from that place? And that is kind of where Ashley started for me. So the Florida Keys have chained themselves to a palm tree, embodied in this woman. Why should we care, right? Like, that's the next question. Like, why did she do it? And when we're thinking about why did she do it, why should we care about this person? Like, what? And this is where she becomes not just like an idea of a person, but a person. Who would do this, and then why? And like, where's like the humanness of this crazy gesture? So that's really where I begin with her. And Roman, I think we should talk more about Roman later, because you do not know very much about Roman yet. You only know what Roman is willing to tell you and what Ashley can see. And I think it's pretty clear here. I mean, there's a lot of first impression stuff in this episode, and there's a lot of wrong first impressions. Even the first scene ends with Ashley saying, this evil Latino Canadian land developer was 10 times more formidable than she guessed. And of course, he's not evil, and he's, Latino, not the way she thought, and he's not Canadian, and she's preventing him from being a land developer. So, like, everything is in question, I think, in terms of the characters' impressions of each other. So we're going to leave Roman for later, because he is not telling you that much about who he is at the moment. And Ashley does not understand him yet either. But what we do know about him is important and is useful. And I would say, too, that like most pilots, there's really nothing in this pilot that isn't going to be important later. Like, if you wanted to read it 7 times, go ahead, because it's all coming back at you in the next few weeks. And then, like, in the season 2, there's more of that. It's all stacked up in here. All these people, all these first impressions, and even some of the the thoughts that the characters are having about themselves are important. So I do not know if this is what I was supposed to do. Marianne said make a video, so I've made a video. I have talked about some things. I've asked you a question. I feel like we're ready to go, right? We're going here. Have fun on the forum. Talk about the books. Don't worry about me because I am not going to listen to you talking about the books. But ask me any questions that you have in the Q&A, or start a thread or whatever. Just pull me into the conversation, or tell Marianne what you want from me and she will make me do it. I am so glad to have you all here. This is going to be really fun. Bye.